Something I often hear from business owners, especially newer business owners, is I'm doing all the things and nothing's happening. They're networking, they're posting, they're reaching out, but the business still feels quiet. And a big reason for this is something I call the 90-day rule. Business development often takes longer than people expect. Hi, if we haven't met yet, I'm Kathleen Lawson, and as a business strategist, I help female service-based solopreneurs take control of their time and business and put the strategy, structure, and routines in place to build momentum and grow. So here's what happens. Someone starts putting effort into visibility. They start attending networking events, they're reaching out to people, they're posting content, they're having conversations about their work. They do this for a couple of weeks and then they start thinking, why isn't anything happening yet? Where are all my sales? And this frustration is very common, especially in the early stages of a business. So, what happens is that there's a delay between activity and results. So, the conversations you start today, the networking you're doing this month, the content you create, they often turn into opportunities down the line, 90 days out, sometimes even further. And the reason for this is that most opportunities, including referrals, don't come from one single action. They come from a series of interactions. Someone meets you, then they see you again, then they have a conversation with you, then they see something you've posted online, and only later do they realize, oh, I need what she offers, or someone that they know does. And that process naturally takes time. Business development works more like planting seeds. You plant the seeds now, but the results take time to grow. So here's a pattern I see. People will try something for a few weeks. They go all out, they put in a ton of concentrated effort, often in a really short period of time, like over a couple of weeks or a month. And then they decide it's not working. So they change it all up. They stop posting, they stop networking, they stop following up, and they try something completely different. The problem is that they never stay with one strategy long enough to see the results. You can also flip this, and it really helps to gain clarity around what's happening in your business. If business feels slow right now, you can ask yourself, what was I doing 90 days ago? Were you networking regularly? Were you following up with people? Were you creating content, having conversations about your work? Because what's happening today is often the result of activity or a lack of activity from a few months ago. I see all the time, and that's why I also bring this up with people when they're getting ready to take a lot of time off in their business, such as over the holidays or over the summer. You have to be thinking about where you're going to be a few months out. So, momentum does not come from one big push. It comes from doing the right activities consistently over time, networking regularly, following up with people, staying visible, protecting your time to think and plan. And that's why structure and routines are so important in a business. When you stay consistent long enough, the results begin to compound. So, momentum isn't about constantly changing the plan, it's about staying consistent with the right things long enough for them to work. If this content resonates with you, be sure to like and subscribe so that you don't miss any of my videos.